let's try to do this practice question. Tricky practice question, guys. Okay. Grupo Ignacia issued 10-year corporate bonds 2 years ago. Okay, fine. The bonds have an annualized coupon of 10.7% on a semi-annual basis. Do you remember this? Annualized coupon, but a semi-annual basis means for the full annual, full year it is 10.7, but that is paid in two parts, right? So means 10.7 percentage divided by 2, right? So every 6 months you will be paid 5.35. 5.35 in 6 months, right? So that is the frequencies, right? So remember this part. And the current annualized YTM is 11.6%. Okay, YTM is 11.6%. The current price of the Grupo Ignacia's bonds per MXN 100 of par value is closest to. Now this is tricky, right? This is tricky, and this is how the question comes in exam, guys. This is where you need to focus on, because when you try to understand your CFA, right, you will realize very, very clearly that in CFA, right, you need to know how to apply the concept which you have studied in a very holistic way, right? And that's why we have chosen the questions for your understanding, very high level question, right? We have not chosen treasure question to teach you, because we wanted you to do actual question of exam, and actual question of exams will be like this only. So first part to understand here is that coupon payments which are happening will be 10.7 divided by 2. So it is 5.35 coupon payments. Similarly, now the discount rate. When I say the discount rate, because the annualized current annualized YTM is your 11.6%. Now same logic, if your annualized YTM is 11.6%, what is the YTM per period? Your period is 6 months, so we will divide 11.6 also by 2, right? So we'll get 5.8. And how many periods we have? What is the number of years? 2 years ago the bond was issued. How many years are balanced? 10-year corporate bond, 8 years are balanced. So balance years are 8 years. So you know so okay, let me write this much, you will understand. Okay, what I'll do is, guys, my pen is little hanging here, right? Due to, I don't know what is the technical issue. What I'll do is I'm copy pasting this question, and I am taking you to OneNote. OneNote pen will not hang, right? So I can make good diagrams, and I'll share the what you say, the PDF in the group, so you can use that for your practice, right? We have time also, and as I told you, right, we CFA is all about practice, right? 40% is the time you should dedicate to theory. 40% is time you should actually dedicate to solving questions, and 20% is the time you should dedicate to revision. So it has to be very active learning. You cannot do your passive learning, right? So what we will do is that, let me shift my screen and let me take you to your OneNote, right? We'll keep coming back here, but right now I'll take you to OneNote where I can write easily. Okay, fine. So I'll share this, but now copy pasted the question. Now let me solve it here. Okay. Now listen to me carefully. The bond was originally, right? Originally, the bond was 10-year bond. See, CFA ask you good question, right? Very, do less question, but do high quality questions, right? Read the question carefully. 10-year bond. Okay, fine. So this is how I solve an exam if I am a student. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, 6 year, 7, 8, let's say 9 and 10 year. Okay, fine. 10-year corporate bond 2 years ago. Okay, so it was issued here, but today I am here. Okay, 2 years ago means I am standing here. This is my position today. Bond was issued here. right? So write down here, bond issued, a bond issued here, right? But today I am here. This is today. 2 years ago the bond was issued, na? With me till now? Yes. The bond
Yes,
pays
sir.
an annualized coupon of 10.7%. Okay, you say the okay coupon is 10.7% on a semi-annual basis. Okay, that troubles me. I told you, right? Coupon is coming semi-annual. That changes a lot of things. Now you change it. Oh, coupon is coming seven. Like so, it means coupon will come here. Coupon will come here. Coupon will come here. Coupon will come here. Here, here, here. So coupon will come at here also, here also, here also, here also, here also, here also, here, 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 here. So basically, coupon will come. We have 8 years which were remaining, and semi-annual coupon is coming. So I am getting 16 coupons, right? And what is the coupon I am getting? Because this is annualized coupon. This is a coupon is given annualized. Per annum coupon is given, right? So, but coupons are coming. What? 16 coupons. Coupons coming semi-annually. Why semi-annually? Because this is written semi-annual basis. Semi-annual. Fine. So coupons are coming semi-annual, 16 coupons. So I'll say, okay, full year coupon is 10.7. Semi-annual coupon is semi-annual coupon, SA is semi-annual. Semi-annual coupon is 10.7 divided by 2, which is 5.35%. Fine. That is my calculation till now. And the current annualized YTM is 11.6%. Current annualized YTM. See, current annualized YTM is 11.6%. But I don't need annualized YTM, right? Why? Because my coupon I am considering 5.35, which is semi-annual. So I need my YTM also semi-annual. So I'll say, okay, give me YTM also semi-annual. Why should I see if my coupon has been annual, right? Then I would have been fine. But my coupon is not semi-annual as per the question. So I want YTM also semi-annual. So 11.6% divided by 2. So this gives me 5.8%, right? So we have solved now two interesting points of your understanding. We have solved your, what you say, your coupon payments. We have solved the YTM, right? And number of periods is also 16. Now we have to do what? What is the question asking me? The question is asking me that uh, the current price, current price means you are asking me the present value basically, right? You're asking me the present value to calculate, and you are telling me that please calculate it, right? So I'm like, okay, fine, that I'll do, right? So let me what you say, when you try to find the present, how will you find the present value, guys? What's the logic of finding present value? What do you do for finding the present value?
Discounting the
Yeah,
future.
discounting, right? Discounted cash flow, right? That was the whole logic, right? The module name is discounted cash flow. So I'm like, okay, fine. You want me to find discounted cash flow? I know how to find out. So my simple logic is that okay, what is my cash flow? My cash flow, which is coming, the first time period, right? If I'm sitting here, my first cash flow, which is coming, right, is your 5.35. So my 5.35 is my cash flow divided by my YTM, which is semi-annual, right? So, or you can see the logic is there are two ways here. Either you use, okay, maybe you will get confused. So I
Sir,
just want to
wasn't
say
5.35 the interest? So why are we taking it as a future value?
no, 5.35 is a coupon, na? The coupon is coming. So what I'm saying is, okay, I'm not written the full thing, right? Just wait. What I'm trying to say is 5.35 is the coupon which is coming here, right? First cash flow, right? First cash flow. Okay, let me write equation first. So I have 16. So I will write CF1, 1 plus your YTM, right, raised to power 1. CF2, 1 plus YTM raised to power 2. CF3, 1 plus YTM raised to power 3. Right, I will do, and last one we will do CF16, right, 1 plus YTM raised to power 16, right. So this is what, right, ultimately this is my generic equation, right, this is my generic equation of solving your what you say, the uh, the present value, right, am I right? The present value will be solved like this now. Okay, so I think your network issue would be there. Here it is fine. So the point here is that I have to take the present value of the cash flow, right? Okay. So this is what I'll do is I will again paste this question below. This one is this till this much. I think you are guys are fine. Now what I'm doing is, so if you have understood this, now I'm trying to summarize and do the calculation again, because I just want you to understand it properly, right? Because initial days. So what has happened is now you are clear that 2 years have passed. We are here, we are standing here, today is here, right? I have 16 cash flows: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16, right? This is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6 7 8 9 and 10, right? So this is today, this is 10th year, right? Now I'm saying I have 16 cash flows. Ultimately, I have to do what? Every cash flow has to be discounted. Now, are you getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? Every cash flow has to be discounted, right? So every cash flow, what is my cash flow? Cash flow is a coupon. Na? Cash flow is coupon. Or what was the coupon I calculated? Coupon I calculated was 5.35. So 5.35 is the coupon coming. 5.35. Right. So 5.35 divided by what? 1 plus. Now this discounting creates a problem. Now here students get very confused that, sir, what should I do? So this I want to tell you. See, there are two ways to do it. One is you take the full year YTM. One way. One way is you take the full year YTM. So you take the full year YTM which is given to you full year, right? That is 11.6%. Then you say that okay, it is divided by 2 because your what you say, or okay, let me make it more simpler, right? You do what? See, cash flow, that coupon, total coupon divided by 2 because semi-annual. Similarly, 1 plus YTM divided by 2, it is semi-annual. Then you know that it is 6 monthly because the cash flow is coming 6 monthly, it's zero point 0.5. And yesterday, or I don't know, you guys know it or not, but the whole idea is when compounding and discounting we studied last week, uh, then I told you very clearly that when we try to find the compounding part, we do this now: 1 plus r by m into n. Yes or no? So zero point 0.5, whatever I am dividing here by 2, this will get multiplied by 2, right? So then this I have to do for 16 cash flows, right? All 16 cash flows, right? And then I have to do last one will be my face value. There also I have to do same thing: 1 plus YTM divided by 2, 8 into 2. So if you see the equation which will come out after all this is, will come out like this: 5.35, 1 plus 5.8 percent, right, raised to power 1. 5.35, 1 plus 5.8% square, 5.35, 1 plus 5.8, right, raised to power 3, right, percent. 5.35, 1 plus 5.8% raised to power 4. And similarly, I'll go till the last one. And last one, if you want to separate it, so I can separate it also. Last one, 5.35 plus 5.8% raised to power 16 plus your 1000, no 1000, what is the uh, face value here? It will be 100 of par value, na? 100 of par value. So it is 100 plus 5.8% 16. This is my equation, guys. This equation you have to solve in your calculator, right? This equation, because if you start solving it uh, in your what you say, you try to solve it simply by pen and paper, it will take a lot of time. You have to solve this equation by your calculator, right? That's how it will be done. So if you solve it, your value will be, the whole thing is, uh, the calculation of whole thing will boil down to your something like closer to 95.39, right? So that is what we want. And I think uh, the current price of bond is closest to your 95.39, right? So that is what we will get. Okay, so we'll go back to the
Can I ask a
solution,
quick
but
question?
please ask the question.
Yeah, what is the logic behind dividing the YTM by the coupon to arrive at the price? I may have missed if you explained that part.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll tell you, right? This is the most confusing part also. So I'll go down. And please understand, everyone else. This is very, very confusing. To be fair, see, the logic is apple to apple comparison, right? It is very what you say in the finance world. We say apple to apple or orange to orange comparison. That if my coupon is becoming semi-annual, I'm doing coupon is becoming semi-annual. The discounting of that coupon has to be done by semi-annual YTM. Okay, because both were. This was also given you in annual way. This was also given you in annual way, right? But you, as a principle, it was told to you that this is semi-annual. Now this has been given to you semi-annual in the question. Question says to you that coupon is coming semi-annual, right? So question says to you coupon is coming semi-annual. Now if that is the case, okay, no pen is working here, but if that is the case, semi-annual basis, right? So you have to make your YTM also semi-annual. Okay, so it's that logic, and the principle to the top is that since it is semi-annual, right? Since this is semi-annual, okay, the time period will depict semi-annuality, right? The semi-annual. So time period will be zero point 0.5, but the logic which I told you last week was in discounting was, please remember, whenever we are doing discounting and compounding, if we are dividing a rate by a discount factor, right? Quarterly, monthly, semi-annual, always remember that you have to multiply the time period by that. This is the general principle, guys. If you are dividing here, you have to multiply by here. So 2 gets divided here. This is semi-annual. Semi-annual is 6 months. Na? 6 months will be 0.5. 0.5 into 2. So this is the logic. Coupon gets divided by, coupons become semi-annual. The discount has to be semi-annual, because otherwise we are violating the principle of equality or something, because then we are not following the same logic, right? Because ultimately the period is shrinking. what are you doing? You are saying that instead of my coupon coming in the third year, coupon is coming here. If coupon is coming here, you're discounting a shorter distance. No, you're discounting 6 months, right? And if you're discounting 6 months, your YTM also has to become 6 months. Coupon is as such 6 months. YTM also has to become 6 months. Make sense? Does it
Sir,
make
I
sense?
understand the matching part.
Mhm.
That's not the issue. What I couldn't understand is why divide. What's the reason that dividing the coupon payment by the YTM will give us the price? What's the
Okay,
reason
that
for
part. Okay,
that?
fine. Okay, so that part, okay, I'll explain. See, ultimately, we are doing what? We are doing discounted cash flows, right? Discounted cash flow. So the whole logic of discounted cash flow is that you have cash flows which are coming, right? So this was second year, we were here. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, eight, nine, 10. Then we said that our cash flows came 6 monthly. So we said cash flow came here, 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 here. Now we are saying that what are we trying to achieve here, right? What is the question asking us? Question is asking me that I need to find the current price of Grupo Ignatius bonds, right? Current price. I have been told to find the current price. I told you in the definition of YTM that if the current price, if you go back to the definition of YTM, which I told you, I'll write down here also. The definition of YTM was YTM is that magical yield. YTM is that magical hypothetical, right, yield. It is not observed in the real world. Yield that makes the present value of cash flows of a bond equal to its current price. This is what I wrote in the definition earlier also. When I'll go there, change the screen, I'll show you. Right. So by this definition, it becomes very clear. Now, if I have to find current price, if I have the cash flows, right? I have the cash flows. If I put YTM here, won't they equate? Because this is what the YTM means, nah? This is the definition of YTM. YTM is that magical yield, hypothetical yield that makes the present value of cash flow of a bond equal to its current price. So I need to find the current price. I had the cash flows. Then I only need the YTM to put on the formula and get the answer. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Right? So
So is the bond
that's the
market
whole lot.
efficient? Is the bond market efficient enough that in the real world that actually happens?
No, no, no. This is hypothetical, right? See, this is YTM does not exist in the real world. YTM is like a value which we have for ourselves created, right? See, you are asking a very technical question, so I'm answering maybe going beyond the scope of the discussion which we are doing right now. Basically, in the real world, there are spot rates, right? Spot rates, which are also called zero rates, which are also called zero coupon rates, right? In real world, you have these rates. So what we have is that you will have 3 month spot rate. So your 3 month spot rate will be something like 3%. Then you will have 6 month spot rate. That will be like 3.2%. Then you will have 9 month spot rate. That will be like 3.4%. I'm just taking easy numbers. Then 12 month spot rate. Then like 3.6%. Right. So in real world, we will have these kind of rates. So in real world, if I have to discount my cash flows, let's say my cash flows are coming, or let me make it as per the question. Let me make the spot rates simply 6 month, 12 month, 18 month, 24 month. So my in real world, my coupon which came 5.35 here in 6 months, right? That will be discounted by 5.35 plus your spot rate will be semi-annual. So I will use 0.03 raised to power 1. Then my next coupon which came after 12 months, 5.35, that coupon will be discounted by 5.35, 1 plus 0.032 raised to power 1. Next coupon which came after 18 months, which will be discounted by 5.3, 1.034 raised to power a 1, and which one coupon which came after 24 months, which is 5.35, 1.036 raised to power 1. This is what you are asking now. This is what you are saying now, that bond market is not so efficient, right? Because you are getting different spot rates. Okay, so this is what in the reality such kind of thing happens. But what we as practitioners do, which I told you, we as practitioners say that no, we don't want so much of complexity, right? No, see, it is ultimately what are we doing? We are doing quants. Quant is what? Quant says mathematics. Mathematics does what? In a class, when you were younger in school days class, right? You had different students with different marks. What does the teacher tell the principal? Teacher used to tell, na sir, the average student's mark is 80%, right? Teacher never used to tell that the highest student has 100 marks and the lowest student has 60 marks, right? So YTM is like that averaging kind of thing. YTM is like that. I don't want this drama. I don't want 3, 3.2, 3.4, 3.6. This is real life stuff. Real life stuff is this, right? Real life stuff is this part. Okay, this is real life, right? I don't want this kind of drama. I want, tell me one rate which is kind of the rate which depicts everything. So that rate will come out, let's say 3.3. So we are saying that, oh, YTM is 3.3, which is kind of depicting the whole thing. Does it make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
In the real world, we have spot rates, which are like this, which are changing with time, 3.2, 3.4, 3.6, whatever, right? YTM is a hypothetical number, magical hypothetical number, which we have created so that we want to match the cash flows with the current price, and we want to come out with a single number. We don't want this different spot rates for different time period. We want one number, right? Which we can say that, okay, near about this is these are my rates, right? So that is why we do this thing, right? So again, very interesting. And what I want you, please take it as a homework. If you're not able to do, I will do it tomorrow. Take it as a homework. Try to do in calculator. Learn how to do in calculator. Calculator, you have to put the cash flows. It is very easy, to be fair. It's not, you have to put PMT. It's a payment, right? Payment is coming 5.35. Again, you can put present value. You have to calculate present value. So PV you have to find. FV is equal to 100, right? I by Y in your calculator will be 5.8, right? Don't put the percentage sign or don't put 5.8 directly. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is left? N is equal to 16. Why n is equal to 16? This is number of time period. Just put this in calculator, right, and compute PV. Right, put PMT, put FV, put I by Y, put N, and compute PV. Do it in calculator, guys. Learn the TVM, right? That's why we are going slow initially, because these things initially takes time. And I told you, I've given you the sheet also, videos also. Just search for time value calculation, compute PV, it will come. Compute PV. 5 things are there. PMT, I've actually written the whole thing. Just you have to put it and you will get the answer, right? So that is what it is. Okay. So explained you the logic also, explained you the formula also. Rest is your work. But if you still get stuck, please ask me tomorrow. I don't mind in the initial days, right? But you have to become good at this, guys. That's very important. Okay. Now let's go back again to our slides and come back here if there is more question. Okay. So that is right. So we were here. Okay. So we were doing here, and this is what it is done, right? So this is the solution, right? They have not told you what to do by calculator, but I have already told you what to do by calculator. This solution, how do you get this answer to this? That I have told you, right? You have to get by financial calculator. I've told the values also in that one note sheet which I'll provide you. Okay, let's go ahead. Again, another practice question. you have this part, right? This we have to do now. In this part, okay, we have the, what are we trying to find out here? Read the question. The question says, Gray Pebble Real Estate seeks a fully amortizing fixed rate 5-year mortgage loan to finance 75% of the purchase price of a residential building that cost NZD, New Zealand dollar 5 million. The annual mortgage rate is 4.8%, right? Annual mortgage rate. Okay. The monthly payment for this mortgage would be closest to what? Again, very typical kind of question, right? And that is where CFA, it's very important to solve CFA question, because if you don't solve CFA question, you if you go and solve Phasor question, etc., you will suddenly find those are very easy. Now, this question is asking you, how do you find the monthly payment, right? Okay. See, when you have to find the monthly payment, right? First of all, the question comes is that, sir, where exactly have we studied monthly payments till now, right? So if you remember, we had a small discussion about your annuity, right? Annuity and annuity payment, right? So that uh, annuity payment is your EMIs, right? That annuity payment is EMI. So let me click that as well. I don't want to do up and down, but I want to show you this small thing, that this is the logic which is working here. This is what uh, is given in your slides also. I have copy pasted that amortizing bonds are an example of annuity payment. See, this is, if you read it carefully, this question, it's a amortizing fixed rate 5-year mortgage loan, right? And they are trying to find the monthly payment. So it's a amortizing bond, and for an annuity, the, you know, the whole thing is this, R into PV 1 minus 1 plus R minus T. Now the question comes is, if that is the case, right? So first you have to remember this formula. If you don't remember this formula, you can't even start this question, right? There is no way you can make a head start in this question if you don't remember the exact formula. Now the question comes is that R is okay, right? R I can find, right? Even it is given in the question, right? T also I can find, right? What about this PV? How do I find the PV? Because the PV is now interesting, right? PV is very interesting. And how do I find the PV in this particular case, right? So if you look at the question, right, the question is saying, if you read this question is saying, this real estate company seeks a fully amortizing fixed rate 5-year mortgage loan to finance 75% of the purchase price of a residential property that costs 75 million. So basically, the loan which they are taking is 75% of your 5 million, right? 75% of 5 million is what? Your 3 by 4, right? Of your 5 million. 3 by 4 of 5 million is what? 3 by 4 of 5 million is what will be the amount? 3.75, right? 3.75 will be the,
3.75 million.
yeah, 3.75 is the PV, right? 3.75 is the PV we are getting, right? So that part we are clear that, okay, fine. So PV we have found out it is 3.75 million. Okay. Now the question comes is, the annual mortgage rate is 4.8%, right? But we are not looking at the annual, right? We are asking the monthly thing, right? Again, I told you, right? The rate is given annual, but we are trying to find monthly, right? So convert the rate into monthly, which is 4.8 divided by 12, right? Which makes it what? Which is 0.4%, right?
0.04.
0.4%,
Oh,
right? 4.8,
0.4.
0.4%, right? So R is also found. Now, I told you the logic, same logic. If rate is divided by something, time period will be multiplied by that thing, right? So time period was what? Time period is what? 5 year. 5 years. So 5 into 12, 60. Okay. So this is what will be input in the formula, right? Rate will go at 0.4%, into PV will go at 3.75 million. You should add the zeros, whatever you 10 into 6. And then 1 minus 1 plus R. R is again 0.4%, right? T is minus 60. Then you have to solve this in calculator. Okay. So looks a very simple question, but I think the trick part here is that if you don't remember this formula, you can't even start the question, right? So that's the tricky part here. So focus on that, guys. Very very important. If you don't have that grasp on the formula, things will not make sense, right? Otherwise, I don't think question has that much of what you say difficulty, right? I think that otherwise it is pretty straightforward. But again, you have to do such questions, guys. Do less question practice. That's why I told you in the first class also. The mantra to pass your CFA is CFA end of chapter questions. And that's why we have deliberately included CFA end of chapter questions. These are all high quality questions, which I told you to practice. So we are solving all high quality questions in class itself, right? So we are, you know, doing a good job. If you are struggling here, you are, if somebody, like, you obviously you have friends, etc., right? Some friend will say, "Now, oh, Shwetha, questions are so easy, don't bother. Shwetha, questions are very easy. These are CFA end of chapter questions. These are the real things which come in exam. This is what will make you pass. Do less question, but do these questions." That is my, that is my suggestion for everyone. I tell everyone that in CFA, it doesn't matter if you uh, solve further questions or not. What matters is if you solve the harder questions or not. These are harder questions we should know. Okay. So this is practice question number 3. Again, this is a numerical, not a very lengthy numerical. We will see step by step, and we'll try to analyze what to do here. Okay. So let's read the question first. Yeah. When you look at the question, it is Milandia, right? Milandia, right? Milandia Corporation. Hmm. Okay, fine. Milandia Corporation pays annual dividend. Milandia Corporation pays an annual dividend to its shareholder. Perfect. And its most recent, that's word, most recent payment was Canadian dollar 2.40, right? Most recent. Now the question comes is, most recent is D1 or most recent is D naught, right? Because D naught is previous period, most recent is what, right? So this is where a lot of people get confused, because this D naught and D1 confusion creates a lot of problem in exam, right? See, even if they call it most recent, it is the dividend which has been paid previously. Anytime you see a previous dividend, anytime you see a previous dividend, please keep in mind, see, it is, even though they have tried to confuse you, they have tried to send most recent dividend, right? But it's a previous dividend, right? It has already happened in the past. So it's a previous dividend, so it is D naught, right? Please remember, D1 is the next dividend. I'm telling you very clearly, this is the one of the common confusion in exam. D1 is next dividend, previous dividend is D naught, right? So, okay, fine. So, we have got that, okay, D naught is 2.40. Perfect. Analysts following Mile India expect the company's dividend, okay, company's dividend to grow at a constant rate of 3%. Perfect. They want dividend to grow. So D1 is equal to D naught 1 plus G, which we studied yesterday also. So 2.40, 1 plus, which is 3%, which is 0.03, right? So 2.40 multiplied by 1.03. Okay. And 24 into 3, 24 into 2.72? I think 2.72 or something, right? That's what it should be. What is it? 2.40 into 3 is 2.472, right? 2.472. Okay, so D1 is that per year in perpetuity. Okay, so it means this is the final one. This is what it is growing. There is no other growth rate, right? My India shareholder requires a return. Okay, so their requirement. Now, what do you mean by require a return? Right? Again, it is the investor's requirement of a return, right? Because anybody who is investing in a project, obviously, he will have some requirement of return, right? So, if you remember, the formula was V naught D1 KE minus GC. KE was required return. This was required return, and GC was your growth rate. So D1 is what? D1 is 2.472 divided by your KE. KE was is what? 8%, 0.08. GC is what? 3%, right? GC is 3%, 0.03. Right. So if you solve it, right, in a very simple way, 2.472, 0.08 minus 0.03. Very straightforward, very easy, very simple. I told you, right? First question will not take much time because it is one of the simplest of the questions. So answer comes out as 49.44. Okay. So that should not be a problem. Your 49.44. Okay. Very straightforward, very easy. So this is done. I'm copy pasting the solution also so that you have kind of consolidated summary kind of thing at one place. Okay, so that is also I'm pasting. The next question will be tricky, right? Question will be tricky, and let's do that again. Chances of next question coming in exam is higher because this question is very easy, so I don't think there should be any issue. Next question, let's try to do it. I told you that this is single stage DDM, dividend discount model. That will be multiple stage DDM, right? So that will be little tricky to solve it. So if we take next this one, practice question 4. Okay. So let's try to solve this question now. Fine. Right. When we are solving this question, now if you read the question carefully, right? So first try to analyze this question. Suppose again same company Mar India announces that it expects significant cash flow growth over the next 3 years. Okay, and now plans to increase its recent 2.40 dividend by 10% in each of the next 3 years. Okay, you are fine, right? So next 3 years, right? Next 3 years, they are saying that we want to increase, right? And increase its recent dividend by 10% in each of the 3 years, right? So if you see, so D naught was 2.40, D1 will be 2.40 into 1 plus 0.10, right? D2 would be 2.40 into this 1.1, this 1.1 into 1.1 again. Why again? Because same logic, right? Every year your dividend is increasing by your 10%. And third year also, right? D3 equal to 2.40 into 1.1 into 1.1 into 1.1, right? This is what we have. Following the, now here the language is changing, right? Here the language is twisting, right? I would say. So what is happening here in the language? What is saying? Following the 10% growth period, Myland India is expected to grow its annual dividend by a constant 3% indefinitely, right? So you are now saying that okay, there are two phases basically. Two phases. One phase is of high growth in dividends. One phase is on, you know, kind of constant 3% indefinitely. So one phase is 10%, another phase is 3%, right? I'll come to your questions now, don't worry, right? So there are two different phases of growth, right? That we have to understand. Okay. So yeah. So thank you. Let me complete it. Okay. So that is what we have, right? So there are two different phases, and now how do we solve it? Right? What's the logic we should apply? So second stage will again, right? Here the twist will come is that first 3 years you have a certain kind of dividend. Second, after 3 years, you have some other kind of dividend, right? So what you are doing is, if you put it very simply, what you are doing is that for first 3 years, right, you calculate the values. I think this value is 2.64. This value is 2.90, right? This value, next value is just, you know, just to save my time, I'm taking the values from the solution. The third value is 3.19, right? 3.19. Now, please note down that for second period, right? This is first period and this is second, right? Second period, you have to be very sure that for second period, right? This is like a D naught, right? Because what has happened is that you see yourself, right? First year, zero, first, second, and third. Now things change from here, third year onwards. But if I have to find out the value ahead, this period will treat this as zero, na? So it will say that okay, if I have to apply the same logic, so I need to do what? If you remember, the formula was very simple. The formula was what? D1 KE minus GC. So D1 will be what? D naught into your 1 plus constant growth, KE minus GC. And D naught for this period is D3. So D3 is what? Right, D3 here is 3.19 into your 1.03, 3% is this period. And then KE is what? What is the percent? Again, same percentage. 8% is the required return. 8% is the required return. And yeah, and your 0.08, 0.03. Right. So if you solve 3.19 into 1.03 uh, divided by your point 0.8 minus 0.03, it comes as 65.80. Right. So 65.80. So you get 65.80. Now what has happened is that basically an earlier case, in this case, you were getting kind of answer easily. But in this case, you will not get answer easily because what is happening is that you have like a four cash flows, right? You have 1 year, second year, third year, and fourth cash flow is for the indefinite period which is ahead. So this is 65.80, right? Which is the fourth cash flow. 3.19, 2.90, 2.64. 3.19, 2.90, 2.64. Ultimately, when you consider this whole thing, right? When you try to consider this whole understanding, what you realize is that when you are getting three or four different cash flow, you have to take the present value because ultimately you have to find the value today. Now, here you have your cash flows are coming at different times, and that's why its name is dividend discount model or discounted. We are studying in discounted cash flow, right? If I have to discount it now, this whole thing, So the whole logic is that okay, fine, let's discount it. 2.64 divided by 1.08, 2.90 discounted by 1.08 square, 3.19 discounted by 1.08 cube, 65.80 discounted by 1.08 raised to power 4, right? So this is the value you will get, and this is the value is at 59 point something, right? 59.71, right? So I know this is a little tricky. That's why I told you that time also that to understand this concept, you cannot do it unless you solve a question, right? So that's why we didn't do yesterday also. We were focusing more on theory because this part can be understood only by solving a numerical, right? There is no other way to understand this part, and that is what I was saying that time also. Short term, long term, and eventually this is discounting of cash flows. This logic, right, was not there in the other questions, right? Because you see, in the previous question, we were doing only this much, and we are focusing here only, right? We did this formula, right? We did only D1 KE minus GC. We're focusing only on 65.80, but here we have to focus on different cash flows, right? So a little tricky, but I'm pretty sure this is not that difficult. Okay. All right. You can see the question. In this question, what are we doing? Right. We are saying that consider a Swiss Confederation zero coupon bond. Right. So it's a bond question. Right. And in this particular question, if we uh, pay attention, right. So what is happening is this is ZCV with the par value of CHF 100, right? Par value is the value which you get at the last, right? Par value. A remaining time to maturity, remaining, right? Remaining. It's not the full time to maturity, remaining time to maturity of 12 years and a price of CHF 89, right? Your Swiss franc, right? CHF Swiss franc, right? Right. So value at the last you will get 100. 12 years are pending. Today the value is 89. Okay. In 3 years' time, the bond is expected to have a price of CHF 95.25, right? Again, interesting. In 3 years' time, means from here till here, third year, right? If I count it 0 to third year, the price expected here is your 95.25. If purchased today, the bond's expected annualized return is closest to. Now, this is very tricky, right? Because it seems like that you haven't done any like such question before, right? And how do you solve it, right? Because you are given a value of the bond 3 years from now, that is good. Now the only question comes is that is there any way I can figure out this thing, right? So if you apply a first principles approach, right, very simple first principle approach, the logic here is in the first principle approach is that you take your future value kind of thing. FV is equal to PV, right? Now question comes is should I take exponential RT, right? Should I take your 1 plus RT? What should I take, right? How do I take it, right? If I am uh, putting it, right? If I'm putting it, how do I uh, understand it, right? Whether a zero coupon bond also plays a particular kind of value here, because there is no in between any coupon, right? I understand that there are 3 years here, right? Right. So how do I now solve it, right? What should be the logic that I get the right answer. Any idea? Anyone? There's a small trick. See, this is given. Present value is 89. Future value is 95.25 after 3 years. Time period I am also aware 3 years. Right. Now the only thing is I have to create an equation. Right. Now what equation it will become? That is my concern. Right. That what equation it will become, and how do I solve it? Right. What should be the logic I should put it? Any idea? See, same logic. FV, if you have to find out the PV, present value, is equal to FV 1 plus R raised to power N. Right? This is what we have, right? Whatever, because see, ultimately you are discounting, right? This is 95.25. This is 89. You are asking this much, right? You are asking what is the return with this period, right? This 3 years. So you're discounting, right? 95 divided by 1 plus R raised to power N, right? So 95.25, 1
We'll
plus
divide 89 and put power of 3. 1 by 3.
89 is equal to 1 plus R raised to power N, right?
Yes, sir. And
Right?
we'll divide 89 and
Yeah,
n is 3, sir.
yeah.
So
So N is 3, right? Yeah. So what I'm saying, 89 is equal to 95.25, 1 plus R raised to power 3. Am I right? So 1 plus R raised to
yes,
power
sir.
3 is equal to 95.25 divided by 89. Right? If you try to solve it, 1 plus R will be 95.25 divided by 89. You take the cube root, right? So where is my calculator? So if we take the cube root of 95.25 divided by 89, and I take your mm,
Sir, 2.88.
raised to,
Approximately 2.9.
raised to power 3. Raised to power is should be, no, not 3.33 now. What you say? 0.33. 2.26, right? 2.264 it is coming for me. Maybe I'm try it again. 95.25 divided by 89, and then raised to power 0.33. I'm taking 2.2649 it is coming for me. But yeah, I think maybe some rounding off thing. But this whole thing is coming as 2.26 uh, 4 2.264. Sorry, this whole thing is coming for me after this 1.022649. For me, it is coming like this. So R is equal to 1.022649 minus 1, which becomes 0.02264, right? 2264, and it becomes like multiply. So 2.26264, which is maybe there is a rounding off for me, but it is 2.29%. Okay, because there is nothing close to that. Okay, so again, it's a very simple kind of question. I don't think there should be any problem, but yeah, go through it, understand it deeply, right? Very, very important. Okay, again, it's a first
The
principle.
12-year part is not relevant. Is
It's,
that
no,
not relevant?
that is just try to confuse you, right? So
So is this YTM 2 to 2.29 is the YTM?
it's it's not a YTM, right? Because see, what we are trying to see is only the return for 3 years. YTM is when we will hold the bond for 12 years until maturity, right? I told you, na. YTM is only applicable when we are not like we are calculating here 3 years, right? So it is not. Yeah, I have to take 100. If I take it from 100 to 89, that will be my YTM. Okay. If I take it, same thing. your present value is equal to your FV, and in between I take nothing, right? I take only 89, 100, and 12 years, right? This calculation will be right here, right? So if I take it, 89 is equal to 100, 1 plus R, right? A T is 12, right? This R will be your YTM, right? Got it?
Yes,
YTM
got
will
it.
only come when we have held until maturity. Otherwise, will not come. Okay, fine. So now this is done. Another question.
Sir, just a doubt over here.
Yeah.
So in usual circumstances, we don't get the right answer. So do we have to take the nearest round off?
Yeah, yeah. See, I don't know why didn't we get the answer here right, but this much deviation is it's okay, right? 2.26 and 2.29, that much is okay, right? CFA will never, they will never, the quality of question is CFA is very clear. They don't try to, give unnecessarily, confusing options, right? They give it very clearly. Okay, nearest will work.
Sure, sir. Because even I tried solving some question and there were some, I mean, rounding off
Yeah,
errors
yeah.
from my side as well.
Rounding off will always be there, right?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So Grupo Ignacia, again another question. Grupo Ignacia issued 10-year corporate bond 4 years ago. Okay. The bonds pay an annualized coupon of 10.7% on a semi-annual basis. Again, right? Very similar to yesterday we did, right? Semi-annual basis, right? And the current price of the bond is 97.50 per 100, right? The YTM of the bond, right? Very interesting question, because now we have been told to calculate the YTM, right? So again, YTM, I told you, right? Whenever you see a YTM question, the first thing it should come to your mind is that it has to be solved by calculator. I can't solve it by my equations, right? That is why I told you very clearly. As soon as you see the question is asking YTM, the first thought in your mind should be calculator. No equations, calculator, right? So it makes your life little easy, right? So you say that, okay, fine, let's not waste time in creating equations, straight away calculator, right? So this is a hack I'm giving you. A lot of students don't remember this hack and unnecessary gets confused, right? You have to solve question in time, right? So your mind should be very clear, absolutely clear, that where should I go? YTM, I have to find calculator. So calculator, then I have to, I need to, there are five things I need to know. I need to know PV, I need to know FV, I need to know PMT, I need to know I by Y, I need to know N. Out of five, I need to know four things, fifth I can find. So YTM I have to calculate, so this I have to find I by Y. Let's look for others. The 10-year corporate bond 4 years ago. How many years pending? 6 years pending. Semi-annual basis multiplied by 2. So N will be 12. Right. So I'm just giving you proper hacks, guys, how you can do faster questions, right? See, you will understand things, but if n is being multiplied by 2, right, what is the thing which will be kind of divided by 2, right, which will be your coupon, right? Coupon will be divided, right? So 10.7 was your interest, right? 10.7. So 10.7 will become semi-annual, right? Which will become 5.35, right? PMT is 5.3. FV is so easy to find out. I told you it is always 100, right? Because it is given 97.50 and this is minus 97.5. Right, so just you can input this in your calculator, you will get I by Y. But here there is again a small twist which a lot of students miss out, right? A lot of students miss out a small twist that, and which can be confusing in exam, right? Because when you will solve this question, right, you will get answer as, even though here the options are easy, right? Right, here the options are little easy, but the point why I'm telling you is sometimes uh, what happens is that sometimes people get very close options, right? So when you will solve this, you will get I by Y equal to 5.64. See, again, the logic is very simple. I told you that day also. See, apple to apple comparison. Always remember discounting, interest rate, right? Things have been, if you are solving everything, if your PMT is semi annual, PMT is payment is semi annual, N is semi annual, SA. Your I by Y, which will come out by calculator, will also be semi annual, right? And generally, what I'm trying to say, generally, please remember my words, guys. I'm telling you, I'm trying to remove your confusion, which you will think later on. I'm trying to resolve everything right now itself. Generally, this creates a lot of confusion among students. So remember very clearly that it is apple to apple comparison. If PMT is semi annual, if N is semi annual, right, then I by Y will also be semi annual, right? It cannot be different, right? Because ultimately it's a financial calculator which is working, it's a machine which is working. Machine, you like think of your calculator as a computer, right? If computer you are doing everything in Word, the answer will not be in PDF, right? So the output will be in Word only, right? So I'm just giving a very crude example, but I'm trying to say machines, whatever input they take, that same output comes out, right? So it's a machine which is working. So you should be clear of the limitations of the machine, right? Machine, you have to put negative sign. If you don't put negative sign, because that is the setting of the machine. If let's say you don't say, I sir, I'll not put negative sign, you will get the wrong answer, right? So you have to remember this in settings of the machine, that this is how the calculator works. So what I'm trying to say is that remember this thing. So the YTM, generally, what I was telling, generally YTM, whether you are giving CFA, FRM, any exam, YTM is quoted in per annum basis, PA basis, per annum, right? So even though it is not written here, nowhere it is written here, YTM of the bond is closest to 11.2, 11.5, 11.71, right? But it is the convention, right? YTM is quoted per annum. This is a convention. Right? Convention means this is the rule which the finance people follow. This is like same thing in India. You drive left hand side. In US you drive right hand side. So nobody can say na that why are Indians driving at left hand side? India should drive at right hand side. If you try to drive on the right hand side, what will happen? Police will catch you and you will be fine, right? And if you try to drive on the left hand side in US, police will catch you and you are fine. So will not say there, stupid things that no, no, sir, I was driving left hand in India, so I will try to drive left hand in US also. Will not say that, because this is the rule of the land, right? So similarly, this is the convention of the land. This is the convention of the financial people, that they put YTM, even though nothing has been written here. What I'm trying to say is they will not tell you whether YTM is per annum or semi-annual. Convention is per annum. So, as a financial student, you should remember the convention. Convention is per annum. They will not tell you. They will not, write in the question that YTM is per annum. They will not write it. You should remember it. That YTM convention is per annum. So I need to convert. Right? I need to convert 5.64 into 2, which comes out to your 11.28. So that is the answer, right? So remember, these are all small things trouble, especially new students like you guys are coming in financial world. So this is what it is, right? So remember the convention. My point here is, and remember this also, that it's a apple to apple kind of thing, and you are putting things in the machine. Machine will give out. If you are putting in machine, you are putting apple. Don't expect a orange juice to come out. Only apple. If you put apple in a mixer, only apple juice will come out, na? Orange juice will not come out, right? So it's that kind of mixer at your home, right? So it's very simple in that way, right? So remember these small things. It troubles students, right? So otherwise not difficult. Okay. So remember this part. So this is also done, right? Next question again. Okay. Another one. Now, in this question, what is happening is that we are trying to look at the dividend and everything, and we are trying to figure out a few things. Okay. So let's try to look at the answer, right? Myland, Mylandia Corporation stock trades at $60, right? Fine. Fine. Stock is trading at $60. The company pays an annual dividend to its shareholders. and its most recent, again it's confusing, most recent means past only, is 2.40. D not 2.40 occurred yesterday. Perfect. Analysts following Mylan expect the company's dividend to grow at a constant rate of so and so. Mylan's required return. Okay, required return. Required return, you should know required return is KE. So very easy. Remember V naught is equal to D1 KE minus GC. So they have told you to find KE minus GC is equal to D1 by V naught. KE will be D1 by V naught plus GC. Right, so it is so easy. So KE is equal to what is D1? D1 is 2.40. What is so D naught is D1 will be 2.40 into your 1.03 into 1.03 D1. V naught is what? V naught. V naught is stock is trading at 60, right? That is why V naught is given, and GC is your 0.03, right? So this is what you have to do, guys. 2.40 into 1.03, right? And you multiply that with your divided by 60 and 0.03, right? Very, very simple, very, very straightforward question. Just have clarity, right? Just have clarity how to go about it. If you have clarity, this will not take much time. Okay, you should know what is the required return, right? What is question asking? Question is asking you required return, right? Which you can solve, right? This is what they have done. Very, very simple. Answer is 0.03. These are easy questions. Only requirement is that you should have conceptual clarity.